Hey everybody, Seth with Everyman Prepping here. And in today's video, we are going to go through what's on top of a lot of people's mind in this Russian nukes in space, satellite destroyers, all that stuff, because it's very important. Much less important about the satellites that carry nukes maybe, but more important about why they're telling us this now, what is really going on with that story. We're going to hit on other top events coming out through the day and what this means to your prepping. But first, I want to give a shout out to some of the heroes at the parade, the shooting of the parade for Kansas City during the Super Bowl parade. As you can see here, we have some of the suspects that were detained. And then, the other picture came out of another suspect. So we have 3, we have 4. Now they're saying there's 2 juveniles arrested only. I don't know what's going on, but I got a feeling this is going to be memory hold pretty quick, and the media is going to try to kill the story. And as you can see here, ABC is already trying to do this with the fact that they're saying in their story today that this appeared to stem just from a dispute between people. That's all it was, just an argument. Don't worry about it. Move along. Nothing to see here. By the way, who takes an AR-15 to a Super Bowl party just in case there's a dispute? If you're doing that, I think you have other intentions. But the media today is telling you it was just a dispute between people. Nothing to see here. But I would like to give a shout out to a couple of heroes, a couple of men that tackled one of the shooters. There's all that toxic masculinity, it's horrible, right? It's really bad. Well, obviously we need that. We need men. We need strong men. And these are a couple of strong men, a couple of heroes. And I'm going to play this for you so you can see what these gentlemen did. The culprit, the suspect right here, we should say, is right here, gray hood, brown jacket. And he's going to run this way. And you're going to see a couple of gentlemen take him out, basically. He's running. He's going in. As you can see, this gentleman right here sees him coming from a distance. He has the white hat on, the white shirt. He sees him. He's just going to break on him and take him out. You can see this happen. He hits him first. He falls to the side. And then this other gentleman says, I'm going to take you out. A couple great heroes there. A couple strong men. Like I said, this country, we're going to need strong men. And then I'm going to back it up for a minute to see how the weapon was taken out. You can come see what's going on right now. And then this lady right here, she's going to pick up the AR-15. You're going to see her pick it up and move it aside to safety. There she picks it up. You can see it right there. And she takes it out of frame. So shout out to all the heroes that are out there. And like I said, this is going to go away fastly. You're going to see that. So just want to bring that attention. Thank you for strong men out in the world today. We need a lot of you. We need more of you out there. Moving on from that, we have this. The GOP is warning of a national security threat. Russia wanting nuclear weapons in space. Well, I don't know if anybody remembers. Back in 2021, Russia already blew up a satellite. They blew up one of theirs. They tested, shooting satellites out. And, disintegrating to thousands of pieces. The U.S. freaked out because those pieces can then hit other satellites. You have a snowball effect. Can't remember what it's called, but the effect where you get more and more debris in space and just takes out everything. But China, Russia, they have the ability already to take out satellites. I believe they already have nukes in space. They're saying they want to warn us before it happens, but I think it's already happened. Anyway, let's read a little bit here. It says House Intel Committee chairman warned of a national security threat related to a destabilizing foreign military capability so serious that he would like the president to declassify all the information about it. And he said, let me close this down here. He said it has to do with Russia wanting to put nuclear weapons in space. Like I said, I believe they already have them in space. The U.S. probably does too. We have that plane flying around in space right now that glides around all the time. It's probably loaded with nukes as well. Who knows? This would not be to drop a nuclear weapon on Earth, but rather to possibility to use it against satellites. I think it could be either. Imagine dropping a nuke from space to Earth. There'd be no reaction time. You barely need a rocket at all. It would hit within minutes. You'd not be able to stop it. But yes, you could EMP from there. You could take satellites out. So very dangerous. But they've had this capability for years, right? So why tell us now? Why bring this up now? I always look for the motive as to why information is released. And my personal opinion is that something else is going on. Whether it's a leave the world behind event, that false thing that when you say both words together, YouTube doesn't like, or Black Swan event, something like that. I don't know. There's a reason they're telling us this information now. Not because they think it's going to happen or they're going to cause it to happen. I don't know. But look for something to happen. They're building us up. They're letting us know something's coming, basically, is what I feel. What do you think? Put it in the comments below. While you're doing that, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share, comment, all that great stuff. I really appreciate all the help you have given me in building this community. So we have this. Like I said, it's more of not that they have the capability to tell you that. It's why they're telling it now. There's a reason it's happening now. I don't know why they're telling us now. I just know there's got to be some reason they're kind of letting the cat out of the bag now, why they're pointing everybody's attention to it, because probably something's going to go down. So just keep your eyes on that. Keep your ear to the ground, head in a swivel, all that great stuff. And Elon even kind of knows it. He puts little feeders out there on his X posts, basically telling you you need to prep and get ready. This is what he put out today. This is back, when he said, this is back when he did this. And, they posted this today, but I can't remember when this one was, where he said, I'm going to colonize Mars. My mission in life is to make mankind a multiplanetary civilization. Let's see, if we click on this one, did he put this up? It wasn't. That's when he reposted, but anyway, his response to his own post was, but only if civilization lasts long enough to make it a reality. So what he's giving you a hint. He's a billionaire. He launched space missions. He has his ears on the government. He knows what's going on. A couple, 4 or 5 months ago, he put out a post that said, buy food and ammo, basically. It was a meme, a cartoon. But basically he says, buy food and ammo. So he's telling you to get ready. And in this post, Elon's saying, well, only a civilization lasts long enough for me, to colonize Mars. So he knows we're on the brink, basically. He's kind of telling people without telling people. He still needs his contacts in the government and all that, so he can't blatantly say things. But I think he's concerned enough. He wants people to know. So there you go. Elon telling you, it's civilization's on the brink of going under. So keep that in mind. I think that goes along with the nukes in space. Those two kind of work together, I believe. So what do you think? That's what I think is going on. Anyway, moving on. You probably heard the Ukraine sank this ship in the waters near Crimea. They used a drone. It's another big landing craft. Russia has yet to retaliate. They will retaliate. They always do. And that's coming up. In and of that story there. Okay, North Korea. They announced that they successfully tested their new surface-to-sea missile using a Pansura 6 anti-ship missile. It looks like it's launched from land and attacks ships. It's another new technology that came out. They said it flew for 1,400 seconds. I don't know how many miles that is. It's like 20 minutes or so, 23 minutes. Probably a pretty good distance. But, with the position of North Korea in the world, near Taiwan, near South Korea, China, North Korea's getting a lot of new tech. They've had new missiles, new ballistic missiles, sub-launch things. Where do you think all this comes from? It comes from China and Russia. They're giving them tech, probably in exchange for weapons and food and personnel for Russia. But also, China's looking at Taiwan, right? Well, you're going to need some backup in the area. You're going to need someone to guard your backside. You're going to need someone to distract. Well, why not give a lot of tech to North Korea and tell them, hey, when this starts, you start launching those missiles, you take out these ships, you do this to Korea, whatever. That's what's happening here. A lot of new tech going into North Korea, and there's going to be a reason for it. It's just not happening for the heck of it. So keep our eyes on that one. Moving on from there, we have Israel eliminated a Hezbollah senior commander as the terror group warns it will pay the price. There's been a lot of bombings, both coming from Hezbollah and on Israel on both sides recently. They just took out a major commander. Hezbollah will strike back. They always do. It says the Israeli military said it killed a senior Hezbollah commander in a strike carried out in Lebanon. And the terror group vows retaliation. As you can see here, that they said Israel will pay a price for killing 10 people, including 5 children in southern Lebanon, and a separate airstrike the day before. So this is ramping up. It's not stopping. As I said, it's not going away. This will open up into a theater. It will happen, which will create more strife in the world coming soon. And if we didn't have enough to worry about, we have the U.S. coalition still pounding Houthi-held ports. So there was, last 3 days have been 30 missile strikes into Yemen. It does not stop the Yemenis. They're still shooting missiles at ships every day. So no matter how many airstrikes go on, Yemen still fires on ships. It says the U.S. and UK have carried out 403 attacks. 203 of those are airstrikes. The rest came from ships, missiles fired from ships. And it says that even on Monday, Yemen still fired ballistic missiles at a ship bound for Iran. People think this is Yemen or the Houthis making a mistake, accidentally shot a ship going to Iran. Some are saying they turned on Iran. That's not it. What I think was happened is the ship is probably owned by, a Western company, Israeli, U.S., UK. And even though it had goods going to Iran, they're going to take out the ship and the ship owner. I don't think they're concerned with where the goods are going. It's not a rift between them. Don't let them confuse you. The Houthis are still going to just attack away, and I don't think any bombing the U.S. UK do is going to slow them down. Just waiting for that oil price to still spike. Eventually, one day it's going to, with all this going on. It's going to go up. And along with this, along with these attacks happening and them ramping up, well, we got a lot of Arab countries saying it's not going to happen from us. You're not going to launch attacks from our bases in our countries anymore on this because, well, we're going to get into that in a minute. I'll tell you why I think. Well, let's read this first. So the UAE restricts the U.S. ability to launch retaliatory airstrikes against Iran proxies. So we have a big base in the UAE, big air base there. I think it's the biggest in the area. And the UAE is going to start saying, no, we're not going to do that anymore. You're not going to let you do as many because, well, UAE, they're part of BRICS now. So is Iran. So is Saudi Arabia. So, BRICS isn't just going to be a financial group, like the G7. It's just not going to be financial. It's going to be strategic and military. So that's what they're building on. They're waiting, that dollar gets weaker and weaker. That petrodollar dies. They don't need it. You're going to see them coalesce more. And that's what's happening here. It says the U.S. has long deployed thousands of troops at facilities in the UAE, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Qatar, in Saudi Arabia as well. And it says several Arab countries, particularly those attempting to detente with Iran, being friendly with them, being neutral with them, are increasingly restricting the U.S. and partners from conducting self-defense operations on their soil, from their soil, I should say. This includes limits on retaliatory strikes against attacks in Iraq, Syria, and the Red Sea. So this means Yemen as well. So, they're all trying to become allies, and they don't want to, make a foe out of Iran or the other ones because, well, like I said, they're all part of BRICS. They're all, hoping that U.S. dollar dies, that petrodollar dies. And so they start putting the screws to the United States saying you can't launch attacks from here. What will the U.S. do? We shall see. But they're allying up, and it's going to get stronger and stronger. Soon they might even try to kick the U.S. out. We'll see how it goes. But it's a sign of the times. These little things, you got to keep in memory what's happening. And World War III doesn't just start one day. It's slowly over time. And it's not going to be called World War III until, well, after it's all done. But these are the little steps you see. Countries start kicking, diplomats out, restricting, military bases, then kicking military bases out. Eventually, you're like, wow, we're fighting UAE and Saudi Arabia. How'd that happen? Well, that's going to happen. All right, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, let's end with this one here. This is a good one. Iran claims Antarctica. They want a piece of Antarctica. A lot of countries want pieces of Antarctica. In fact, you can see from here, Chile has claimed it, France, New Zealand, Australia, Norway, United Kingdom, and now Iran. The U.S. with 12 other countries signed the Antarctic Treaty System in 1959 that says, there'll be no military operations there. Let's all share it. It's for science, all that good stuff. But with so many people wanting Antarctica, it's just not a frozen chunk of ice. There's something else there. There's resources. There's, you can go down a huge rabbit hole of what's in Antarctica, and we're not going to do that in this video, but there's more than you think. And then, if you believe the Suspicious Observer YouTube channel, what's going to happen, around the 2040s, with the whole pole shift and shifting of the globe, if you believe in all that, what's going to happen there? Well, Antarctica is going to become an inhabitable place. It's going to become something you want to get a hold of. And maybe, that's what all these countries, that's why a lot of countries are trying to get a hold of it. We shall see. This happened back in September. It's just coming out now. But it says, we have plans to raise our flag there and carry out military and scientific work. I talked about the Antarctic Treaty of 1959 that 12 countries are part of. Iran is not part of that. They're saying, screw you guys. Antarctica is ours. It says the treaty recognizes that Antarctica should be used exclusively for peaceful and scientific purposes. That's not going to happen. China's there as well. Everybody wants a piece of it. Like I said, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, start researching that, and you're going to come up with all kinds of things of what's going on. This is future planning. This is planning for 10 or 15 years from now. But let's see if we can make it that far with, well, everything going on in the world. So that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, please write them down below. And until next time, keep your ear to the ground and head on a swivel.